Thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and thank you to Zariah for that incredibly beautiful introduction. It's so exciting to be part of the largest caucus in our party's history and to have this opportunity to ask for your support to be the next mayor of Burlington. I want to especially thank all the people who've worked so hard to build up the Progressive Party in Burlington from what was a really low and lonely point for us several years ago to now being as strong as we have ever been, including having 6 excellent progressive city councilors and being in position to retake the mayor's seat. I'm Max, my pronouns are he, him, and for the last 8.5 years I've served as the Ward 2 City Councilor in the Old North End. During my time on the council, and for years before that as an activist, I fought hard to demand that in Burlington, people and our planet must come before profits and special interests. At times, I was the lone voice or one of a small handful fighting against the neoliberal policies of the Weinberger administration. Everything from the F-35s, to the mall project, to the downtown improvement district, to most recently fighting to prevent seasonal city employees from having their jobs disappear. During most of my time as a councilor, the city has been controlled by the mayor and his allies on the council, and I provided principled opposition to their agenda. When Moreau pushed the mall project and made big promises he still hadn't delivered on, I stood in consistent opposition. When Moreau advocated for the F-35s to be stationed here and told us they'd only be modestly louder, I introduced resolutions opposing the basing and called out the impact that this will have on low-income and BIPOC communities. And when Moreau tried to cover up police brutality and misconduct, I pushed for those involved to be removed and demanded that we create new systems of accountability. I'm proud of that work and will continue to stand against policies that harm our community. Unfortunately, however, because of the current administration's failings, I've often been known for what I'm against, for fighting fiercely against these failed policies. But right now, I want to focus on what I fought for and what I'll fight for as your mayor. I'll fight for a just recovery from the pandemic that prioritizes those who are struggling the most. I'll fight to divest funds away from the police and toward the implementation of Operation Phoenix Rise, restructuring and transforming public safety, implementing cultural empowerment, securing equal opportunity, and expanding racial equity, inclusion, and belonging. I will fight to address the opioid epidemic and drug addiction more broadly with compassion and resources for recovery, including overdose prevention sites. I will fight for expanded tenant protection and rent stabilization policies because I'm a renter and I know what it's like, because we are 60% of the city and because for far too long we've been ignored in city policy. I will fight for workers, for workplace democracy, and for livable wages. And I will fight with everything I've got to address the existential crisis that is the climate emergency and to build a sustainable and just local economy with a focus on radically transforming the transportation sector where we only continue to see emissions rise. I've been fighting for these issues unapologetically for my entire life. I've not shied away from these issues, and I will never waver from the work that we have yet to do. I promise that if I'm elected, I'll bring a more grassroots, people-powered approach in building a more inclusive Burlington that lives up to its progressive reputation. A Burlington that isn't afraid to be the first. A Burlington that leads the nation on climate action, on truly affordable housing, on racial, economic, and social justice, and on so many other issues that we deeply care about. This is all incredibly important because we are in an incredibly challenging moment. We just finished our worst month of the pandemic to date. Our planet is on fire. Economic inequality, already extreme, has been taken to absurd levels during COVID. Racism, sexism, transphobia, and so many other forms of bigotry and systemic oppression remain rampant. With all of these interwoven crises and more, it is no wonder that so many people are living in despair. But taking incremental steps to address these urgent problems won't be nearly enough. Now is not the time to seek moderate and slow changes or to try to address these problems around the edges. We need dramatic, structural, and transformational changes, and we need them as quickly as possible. But for all of us here at Burlington, but also to have that bigger impact and show that it is possible for truly progressive policies to be successful on the local level. We can be that model for other cities around the country. In this election, our party is well positioned to win this mayoral race. But Burlingtons can't and won't be fooled by candidates who fail to offer meaningful and distinctive differences from status quo Moreau. I'm ready to serve our city as mayor, and I offer a vision and a record speaks to where our city needs to be. I love Burlington more than anything, and I believe our city can thrive on people-powered politics where we expand what is possible rather than settling for less than we deserve.